Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. V. I'm going to be your anatomy and physiology instructor this coming fall, and I wanted to thank you for choosing LTC as your institution of choice. I'd like to welcome you to LTC if you're a new student or if you've never taken a class here before. I know some of you, especially if you're taking advanced A&P, you've had me already for classes, and I welcome you back. No matter where you're coming from and how you ended up in this class, I just wanted to thank you for taking this class and welcome you. What I like to do with this video is I would like to give you an introduction to this course so that you have the best start possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the course online and kind of explain how the class is set up and kind of what you can expect, and show you around the class a little bit so you have a good start and you know what to do and how to get started this coming fall. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a few moments to come over here and I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see everything that I see. And what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to get you into your class. So what you're going to do is you are going to go to LTC's website. And LTC's website is go-to-ltc.edu. And what you're going to look for across the top here is this first link which says current students. And you click on current students. And when you do that, you're going to be brought to this screen. Now, what you want to do is you want to look over here on the left side of the screen. And what you'll see are the links as you see here. And the first one I want you to look at is the technology and logins link. And go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to see here is in the center of the screen are some links. And what you want to click on is this link right here, because it's going to take you to the login screen for Blackboard. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you to let me log out of here so that we can kind of see what it's actually going to look like. You're going to see a screen that looks like this. Now, if you've never been in Blackboard before, you have to go ahead and enter your credentials as shown below. And if you don't know your credentials, over here on the right side gives you the information that you need to log in. If you try entering your username and password and that doesn't work, or you forget your password, you can use the forget your password link. But if none of that's working, you can go ahead and call this number right here, this 1-877 number, and that number will take you to our help desk, and the help desk will be able to help you get logged in. All right? So once you're all set, and I'm just going to go ahead and log in here. So I'm all set. You're going to see a list of courses here. Now, what you're going to see is you're either going to see the general A&P course 61621, or you see the advanced A&P course 61623. Now, right now, it's just not currently available because I haven't opened them up yet, because this is one of the last steps I need to do in order to make the course available to you. But that not currently available will not be there for you. But what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and click on the link, and it will take you to your class. Now, I'm going to go over and switch over to student mode because I want to show you what you're going to see. So the first thing that you're going to see when you get to the page is a welcome, and just give you some information here. So whatever you see here on the center screen, this is the active window, obviously. But over here on the left side, you can see that I have some links for you. The first link is the announcements, which you're on right now. We also have a link that gives you the course schedule and syllabus, some introductory items and a course tutorial, and your course assignments and learning plans. So I'm going to take you through these links so that you can see what you're going to be doing for the course and where everything is. The course actually is pretty simplistic in its setup. I have it set up in a very simple way, so it's easy navigation for you. If you've never taken an online class before, it's really easy to follow. It's really easy to know what you have to do and where you need to go. And there are some times when students are actually on top of things so well that if something's missing, they like to tell me that they're missing, and I really appreciate that. Now, what I want to tell you at the beginning of this session here is that the courses are set up in a flexible delivery model. So if you're taking an online class, then your entire class is here right in front of you on Blackboard. If you're taking this class as a blended course, what that means is that you have the option of either coming to class every Wednesday morning from 9 to noon if you're in general A&P, or if you're in advanced A&P, it'd be every Thursday morning from 9 to noon. You have the option of coming to class in person or opting to take the class online for that week. The choice is up to you. You don't have to let me know. You just come if you plan on coming. If you don't, you don't. If you don't plan on coming, then what you're going to do is you're going to treat the class as an online class. You go on Blackboard where you are right now for all of your assignments and also to watch the lecture videos. Now, there is something I want to make you aware of, and I'm going to mention it throughout the semester and give you reminders, but I have the dates incorrect here. I got to fix those. But anyway, within the first 14 days of class, so that's actually going to be, if I look at my calendar, that's going to be September 2nd through the 16th, you have to demonstrate that you're active in the class. And it's really hard for me to do this, especially with online students. So what you need to do, and I will send you reminders on this, but I want to make sure I let you know this right away. You need to submit at least one assignment or complete at least one exam for each of the first 3 weeks of class. So we start class for general A&P on September 2nd. We start on the 3rd for advanced A&P. So between the 2nd of September, which you see on my calendar, between the 2nd and the end of the day on the 8th, you need to submit at least one thing. And then between the 9th and the 15th, you also need to submit something else again. And then just to make sure we cover our bases, between the 16th and 22nd, I'd like you to submit something again. This way we can definitely say that you're active in the class, that you're participating, and then LTC will be happy because they'll ask me, Victor, is there anybody that's not participating? I can say, nope, I have it documented here that so-and-so has been active in the class for the first 3 weeks of class. That way we're squared away. Okay, so right now I got, like I said, I have to fix those dates. See, every time I put a new course up, I always find little bugs here and there, and this is one of them. So I will go ahead and fix those dates. But make sure that you are active within the first 14 days of class, because if you're not, I will drop you from the class. So let's say, for example, if you show that you're not active between September 2nd and the end of the day, September 8th, I will drop you from the class. And again, if you do not participate between the 9th and the 15th, I'll drop you from the class. I had some students in the past, in past semesters, who were very upset with me because I dropped them from the class because of something like that. And I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure that you are aware of that, and make sure that you check your schedule, which provides lots of detail on that, which takes me to the next link here on the side of the screen, which is your course schedule and syllabus. So if you click on that link, you're going to see two links. You're going to see a schedule and a syllabus. If you go here and click on the, I'll start with the syllabus, it will open up a Google Doc that gives you the syllabus, and it gives you information as far as what we're going to be covering, what the grading rationale is for the class, and so on and so forth. All right, so if you look here on the grading rationale, you have exams. Everything in this class you can do from home online. You don't have to come into LTC to take any exams or complete any assignments. Everything you can do from home. All right. So it used to be that I used to have my students go to the assessment center to take their exams. I've changed that because if it's an online course, I want it to be online. But what I did to kind of counter that a little bit, because students, you know, obviously I'm no fool. I know that if I allow you to take your exams online at home, you can do Google searches, and you can do, I shouldn't even be saying this because I'm giving you suggestions on how to cheat on the courses. But anyway, I'm no fool. I know that there are resources available to you that if you're taking your exam from home, you can look up the answers to the questions on the exams. So what I did to counter that is I inserted what I call quarterly cumulative exams. And these are exams, there's 4 of them you have to take. And those exam questions, or the cumulative exams, are basically an accumulation or a cumulative exam of the exams that you've taken up to this point. So for example, maybe you have a cumulative exam on the first 3 learning plans of the class. Well, you've had exams and you've had assignments and so forth. It takes all of that information and throws it into one exam, plus some other questions that you haven't seen before to try to keep you honest, so to speak. So if you're just simply looking up the answers as you go, when you're taking your exams and doing your assignments, when you take your cumulative exam, you may have a little bit more of a difficult time because you don't have that same opportunity to look up all the answers to those questions, because you have, you know, by the time you get to the end of the class, literally hundreds of questions that the cumulative exam can randomly pull and throw at you. So make sure that when you're in this class that you are being honest about the approach that you take. Make sure that you are learning the information, because the cumulative exams are about 1/3 of your grade, and they can have a significant impact on your overall grade. Students who go about it honestly and do the hard work, the cumulative exams are no problem. And I'll talk a little bit more about those when we go in and kind of look at a learning plan, but I just want to make you aware of that. So your exams are 50% of your grade. Your learning plan exams, your quarterly cumulative exams make up about 30% of your grade, and then the remainder of the assignments, which you see here, are worth 5% of your grade. And you can see the grading scale and so forth. So the syllabus basically is the way that I ensure that I'm treating all students equally, and it basically lays the ground rules. So make sure that you read the syllabus. We also have a course schedule, and I get some emails and questions from students every once in a while asking when things are due and when we have to submit things and what learning plan are we covering. And the answer to all those questions is found right here on your course schedule. The course schedule does a fantastic job of telling you what we're covering when. And so if you look at the course schedule as I go down, you can see that I tell you what learning plan we're covering, and then I tell you when the lecture is scheduled. So let's say that you are, let's say it's September 23rd, and you're like, what are we covering today? Well, you look in the schedule. September 23rd, we're covering Learning Plan 6, which is the skeletal system. You can also see I have reminders in here. So for example, you have to submit one assignment or complete one exam by the end of the day, September 8th. You'll be dropped from the course if you do not do so. So I have lots of notifications in here. I also have the cumulative exam notices. I also have that information that I'm sending you by email and also on the announcements page. So you'll be kept up to date on what is coming up and what you have to do. Here's another cutoff date that I want to make you aware of. The first half of the class, now this is learning plans 1 through 7 for general A&P. For advanced A&P, it'd be 1 through 5. Those are due by the end of the day, October 16th. After that, I will close out those folders and you have no more access to them. What used to happen is I used to have students who would procrastinate, and it would be like the last 2 weeks of class, and they're doing assignments and taking exams from the first half of the class, and their success rates were very low. So what I did to stop that is I'm basically saying you have to have everything from the first half of the class done by the time the first half of the semester is over. And so that way it forces you to get that done so you're not procrastinating at the end. So make sure that you keep this schedule. I recommend you print out a copy of it, and as you go through, check off these things. You know, for example, if you go way up here at the top, let's just take Learning Plan 6, you print off the notes, okay, check that. Watch the lecture video, check that. And as you do your assignments, check those off so you make sure you're completing all of your assignments so you're not missing anything. So that's your schedule. You can find that at that course schedule and syllabus link. The introductory items and course tutorial link, that's the link that you can follow to get this video that you're watching right now, and also the introductory letter that I want you to read as well. And you should have received instructions on how to access that because you're watching this right now. This last link here that you see under the course content area is your course assignments learning plans link. This is like the lifeline. This is where all the magic happens here, and I have a setting here right now that I have to fix. So I'm going to get out of my preview right now so that you're going to kind of see things a little bit differently, because you can see from my end. But when you click on that link, what you're going to see here, and I'm going to hide this thing here because we don't need to see this. Let me just go out of this quickly. Okay, so when you get there, you're not going to see this before you can access the rest of the class. That's something that I used to do that I'm no longer doing. That pertains to what I talked to you about, making sure that you have your that you're participating the first 3 weeks. Disregard that. What I want you to focus on is this folder, which is going to be the only folder you're going to see when you click on this course assignment learning plan link. When you click on this link, what you're going to see is you're going to see folders. Now you can see that on my end, I have some grayed out ones. These are ones that you do not have access to, but the folders that you will have access to, they'll show up on your screen, and they'll look like a yellow color like this. Now, if you click on, let's just do learning plans 1 and 2. You click on that, you're going to see the first thing you get is an exam, and I'll go through that in a little bit, but you also get your lecture notes. So if I click on the lecture notes, I'm going to open up a Google Doc, and it's going to give you the lecture notes. Now, if you look at the notes, you're going to see that I give you page numbers. So you're going to know where we are in the book at each juncture in the lecture that I cover. So what I recommend is that you print out these notes and bring them to you with class. Now, usually the first day, if there are people who didn't print them off or didn't know they had to print them off or whatever, I'll print off some copies for you. But generally, I don't print out copies for my students because I just expect them to bring them if they want them. But these are the notes that I'm going to be following during lecture. And what I recommend is you just jot the notes down as I'm going through. This is in an outline format. So I do embellish on these, and I do elaborate on some things. So it's a good idea for you to write them down. And after you're done, the assignments are going to pertain to what we've covered in class. So if you're looking for the answer to a question on an assignment, you're going to look at your notes first. And the great thing about the notes is that it gives you the page numbers that that cover that information. So let's say we're going through a couple of assignment questions that regard to homeostasis. You know that information is going to be found on pages 8 through 11. You know there's some figures that I share in class. They're also going to be indicated here in the notes for you. So you have a lot of detailed information that helps you locate the information that you need to be successful very quickly. We also have some what are called binder documents, and these are the documents that will help you prepare for your cumulative exams. And so some of these assignments we might do during class, or I might refer to them during class, but I recommend that you print off these binder documents and you answer the questions. They're more open-ended questions, but they get you to think a little bit deeper. Instead of just a surface level multiple choice question, these are questions designed to kind of prompt your thinking and get you to think a little bit deeper and assess your level of understanding of the information. So for example, this question here, if someone asks you to list and describe the 6 levels of organization to someone so they understood it as well as you, what would you say to them? Okay, that's not a very simple question that you can just spout off an answer. You have to actually know the information before you can answer these questions, and that's the idea here. So make sure that you print off and answer the questions in these binder documents and keep them in a binder, because when you get around to the cumulative exams, there are going to be some questions that pertain to these specific binder documents that you want to refer to. Now, if you plan on coming to class, and let's say that you're a blended student and you plan on coming to class on Wednesday for general A&P, great, that's fine. Come to class, you don't have to worry about the lecture video. However, if you opt to not come to class, what you can do between 9 and 11 and noon on Wednesday is click on this, and you'll get a live feed of me doing the lecture at that time. Once I'm done with the lecture, then the video, this link will become an archive, and you can click it and you can watch it. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you to a YouTube link, and you can watch the video online right on YouTube. And very, very much like what you're doing right now. I share the PowerPoints, I draw, and I write things down, and you can hear everything very clearly. So, so please watch the lecture videos. Make sure that you're doing that. During the lecture video, you're going to see that I give you attendance terms, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But there are times during the lecture where I'm going to throw up a white slide, and I'm going to say, this is your first attendance term. This is your second attendance term. This is your third attendance term. And this is how I make sure that you are, quote unquote, attending class. And so when you get into this assignment, let me go back here because I was kind of going a little bit fast as I was talking. When you go to the attendance assignment, what you see here, what you can do is just click on this link, and then it's going to tell you that you can save it and resume later. So let's say that you're watching the lecture and you get one attendance term, but you don't get the other two, and you stop. You can go in here and you can put in your first term, you can save it, and you come back and enter the last two. You can take this as many times as you want. So you just go ahead and click continue, and here are the blanks. So you just type in your attendance term 1. I'm just going to say 1, which isn't the term, but 2, and then 3, and then what you do is you can see they automatically save as you go after some time. If I click out of here, it should save it. Well, I can save it manually, and then you can either save all answers or you can save and submit. Once you submit it, though, what it's going to do is it's going to tell you how you did. Okay, so it says that it was saved and submitted, tells me who I was, what it was that I submitted, when I started it, when I finished it, how much time it took, and then click OK to review the results. I click on that. It's going to tell me that I got 0 out of the available points because these weren't the attendance terms. If I don't like that, if I don't like my score, I can come back and I can do it again. All right. So here's the thing. Here are your assignments. Every learning plan, every week, you're going to have a quiz, a participation, an attendance, and a lab assignment. Okay, so you take them right here on the screen. You can do any of these 4 assignments as many times as you would like. There's no limit. So if you take your quiz and you don't get the score you like, then go back in and take it again. The idea here and the philosophy that I share is I want you to do your learning on the front end. I don't want the exam to be the learning moment for you. I want you to learn before you take the exam, because then, in my opinion, then you've learned the information, and that enhances your learning. You make your mistakes before you have to really pay for them, so to speak. So for any of these, you just click on the assignment, and you saw this before. Come over here, it gives you the parameters. You can save it and resume later. You can take it as many times as you want. Click on begin, and these are pretty much multiple choice questions. You just click on the answer that you think is correct, and you'll see over here it'll start to save it. But if you want to manually save them, you can manually save them. You just go ahead and click down here, and you click. This is going to change every time. So if you come in and you submit it, and you want to take it again the second time, it's going to be in a different order. So just be aware of that this is going to look different every time you take it. Anyway, you finish it up, you save and submit. This time it's going to tell me I didn't answer these questions. That's okay. Again, what you're going to see here, you click OK to review your results. And you can see here, now I just randomly guessed and I happen to get a couple right here. But what you're going to see is that it'll tell you what question you got correct, or what questions you've gotten wrong. So it tells me that this is the answer that I picked. Okay, this is the answer that I picked, and these were the available answers. So obviously this was not the correct answer. So I could cross, if I'm doing a review here and I'm printing this off for review, I could cross this one off and I know it's going to be one of these other ones. See? And so this is how you learn from your mistakes on the front end. So after you're done, you come out here, you click OK, and you can go back in, you can do it again. The participation assignment, again, same thing. The lab assignment, same thing. You can take these as many times as you want. Now, for the most part, in general A&P, your quiz, participation, and lab assignments questions will become your exam questions. So when you're done with your quiz, participation, attendance, and lab assignments, when you're done, then you can go up here and you can take your exam. Now, your exam, you have a limit of only 30 minutes to take this exam, and it will save and submit automatically when time expires, and you have to take it in one sitting. Now, it says it allows multiple attempts, but really you only get 2 attempts. Okay, so even this is different from the other ones. The exams you can only take twice, and you only have 30 minutes to take them. All right, so this isn't a thing where you can go and look up all the answers, and you know, you're timed here. So just so you understand that about it, and you only have 2 attempts. So if you take it twice, now if you want to take it again a third time, I don't necessarily have much of an issue with that. But here's the thing: we're going to have a dialogue, because if you are emailing me and say, hey, Dr. V, I took the exam twice and I failed it twice, I want to take it again because I want a better grade, then I'm going to say you need to really work on your preparation, because there's no reason, put it this way, there's no reason for you to have to take an exam more than twice, except in extremely rare circumstances. When I do my classes, I can go an entire semester with nobody requesting a third attempt on any exam. Of all the students that I have, of all the exams, it's very atypical for me to get any requests for that. So if you're one of those students who's asking me every time you take an exam, I'm going to start having a dialogue with you about your preparation. All right. So anyway, here, this is where everything is. It's all in here. Okay. Remember that with your quizzes, participations, attendance, and lab assignments, you can do those as many times as you want. Your learning plan exams you can take up to twice. All right. Let's go back out here, because I want to show you the cumulative exam, so you just see what that looks like. So every once in a while, you're going to get a cumulative exam. So you can see here the first cumulative exam for general A&P is learning plans 1 through 5. It's going to have a due date, which is not February 25th. I'm going to change those due dates. Now, please note, you only have 1 attempt that you're allowed. You cannot take this exam more than once, and I give you a time limit, 35 minutes. As the cumulative exams go on, you can see here, again, you only have 1 attempt, but because they're longer, it has 45 questions. Now I give you more time. And then the next one, you have 60 questions, and you're given 71 minutes. And then finally, the last one, it's 75 questions. They give you an hour and a half to take it. So the cumulative exams get longer as you go. All right. Now, if you ever want to check your grades, you just come over here and you click on the My Grades link here under Student Resources, and you can see your grade at any time. If you need to send an email, I don't have my discussion board in here. I got to put my discussion board in here, but there'll be a discussion board there, and I don't know why it's not there. I'll you know what? I'm gonna create it right away here. Let's see here, content area. No, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, which one is it here? Here it is. Put this on here right away. So we got it. All right. Let's move this up. All right. So let's do the discussion board first. So a discussion board is something that I like the students to use. If you have any questions to ask, you just go ahead and click here on the class questions and answers thing here. If you want to ask a question, you just click on create a thread. You say question on learning plan 1. I had a quick question What is the lowest, I'm sorry, what is a negative feedback system? Okay, so then you can go ahead and submit that. Now you see it's going to be here. You can see who did it, and then I'll get it. I'll get a notification that that there was a question on the thing, and then I'll go in here and I'll answer it. What I love about the discussion board is that everybody sees the question, everybody sees the answer. So what I ask is, if you have any questions about class material, class information, anything that pertains to the class, just like you would raise your hand in class, please put it on the discussion board so everybody can read it, everybody sees the answer. What I don't prefer is emails, because then especially at the beginning of the semester, because everybody's asking me the same types of questions and I have to send 10 emails out, which could have been answered with one discussion board question. What I recommend that you do is you subscribe. Subscribe to the discussion board forum, because then you'll get an email every time someone posts a question on it. And all you have to do is click that subscribe button. Now, if I click unsubscribe, now it's unsubscribed. So go ahead and click on subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I don't want that on there. But the discussion board, please use that as opposed to sending me an email for every little thing. If you have an email that you want to send me, though, you can send one. You go right here to instructor users. You click on that, and it's going to send an email right to me, and then I will email you back. This is just like any other email platform. You put a subject in, type your message, and click submit. Now, if it's a confidential thing, if you're talking about your grade, if you're talking about let's say an upcoming surgery that you're going to have, or anything like that that pertains to something that's personal, confidential, feel free to email. But anything else that is general in nature, as far as the course, as far as a question about the content, anything like that, please use the discussion board. And I think that pretty much sums up Blackboard for you and where everything is. Again, you have your announcements, your schedule and syllabus. If you need the introductory items, they're there for you, although after the first week or so, you don't need them anymore. And then a lot of your courses running through the course assignments and learning plans. I think that's about it. And if you have any questions, if you feel like I've missed something, or you have any questions, please, again, go to the discussion board, ask a question on the discussion board, and I'll be happy to answer the question. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I wish you the best. I got to take off my screen share here. I do wish you the best this semester. If you have any questions, you need anything at any time, please feel free to just put a message on the discussion board, ask away, and I'll be happy to help you. So thank you so much again for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure, again, that you are participating each of the first 3 weeks of class so you don't end up getting dropped from the class for some silly reason like that. But otherwise, I wish you the best success this semester. I look forward to having you in class. And if you need anything, you know I'm just a question away. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Goodbye.